GunninGamerz here. We've got another brand new pilot log for you today. I am so excited to be doing number 4 because today is the day we've been waiting for such a long time, and that is we're gonna purchase in our next aircraft. Now I know not everybody's all into the nitty-gritty details that are in Air Hauler, and some of them like just more of the flying stuff and others are opposite. But I'm going to try to go through this stuff in the beginning as fast as I can. And we're going to focus more today on taking our test in the new aircraft, which we'll get to in just a second. Here are my finances. Now you can see all kinds of dips and dives and everything else. A lot of that's because I've been spending all the money I've been getting on buying merchandise, on commodities, and I actually have about 400,500, somewhere in there, 420, 450, something like that. And you can see the big payout here is when I sold a bunch of stuff that I had in my warehouse. Now here's my ledger from everything that's been going on lately. If you want to pause the video right here and look at what I've been up to, you can do that at this time. But basically, like I said, I've been making all of my money on commodities lately. If you guys are running Air Hauler and want to know how to make a lot of money with less effort, feel free to hit me up in this video or come on over to our Twitch stream and I'd be happy to let you know some of the routes that I have found over there. Basically, when it comes to commodities, what you want to do is buy low and sell high. And one of them I can give you real quick. Here's an example. Is out here in KMSP, which is Minneapolis-St. Paul, very busy airport. You can buy watches for 114. Just a few minute flight away, you can sell them over here for 154. So that's about a $40 profit. Now the one bad thing with commodities again is that it does not help your reputation, but at this point I'm less concerned about that than I am about getting cash. Cash means I buy more airplanes, get more bases. The reputation, of course, once you get it up above 40, you can take out loans, you can lease aircraft, and the other one that I am waiting for is being able to hire other pilots, because now I'm going to have a 172 Cessna that's going to be sitting doing nothing. So here's the plane that we've been running. It's been real good to us. I've got almost 100 hours. I'm still going to fly it a little bit, and I'll always come back to have some flights in it every now and then, but it's sitting here in Eau Claire. But today we're going to go ahead and buy us a brand new Piper Comanche. Now this thing is awesome. A little quick history on it. It's obviously an A2A aircraft. It is a 1959. It runs 250 horsepower is what it's rated, so it's got a lot more zip to it, and it loves to go fast. You know, it says the cruise speed is 160, but this thing compared to the 172 is a big difference in there, and it also holds more cargo. I think you can get away with doing about 900. Again, it depends how much fuel and other weight you have in there, but about 900 versus 500 or 600 that I've been getting in the 172, and I also might be able to push that a little higher. I don't know yet. And the range on it is a lot farther. I forget off the top of my head what the range is. Alrighty folks, there she is, brand new to us, this 1959 Comanche, Piper Comanche. Now, the whole story we're going to say behind this is it's been freshly refurbed. And if we jump into our hangar here and have a real quick look at it, you can see that I've only flown it for a couple of hours and did the little rehaul thing there, messing around one day, but it's a fresh one, and there's lots of neat things you can do, like the gap seals, which are underneath the wings. You've got the wing root fairing, which is the little plastic piece that goes right around your wing. The gear lobe, which are those right there, which basically cover up and make that all a smooth surface, like I call it the rim, but it's your on your landing gear there. And then the tip tanks. Those go on the end of the wings, which you can see them on the end of the aircraft here. These are nice because you can haul additional fuel, which actually improves the stability of the wing, which allows you to haul more weight. So it's like a win-win. Haul more fuel, get more range, and have a stronger airplane. Plus they look really nice too. Now I've already got the composite propeller on the aircraft instead of the original one. And other than that, oh, and then there's soundproofing, which basically doesn't do a lot, but it quiets up the interior a little bit, so I'm all for that. This is a noisier aircraft. And then you've got the engine heater, which we've got on there, and we are using it today since. We'll jump in, wait for that interior, that beautiful interior to render in. You can see it is only about 10, 50, 14 degrees right now, and this is all real life stuff here, real life weather that we've got injected with our active sky, real life time. Everything is realistic as we can get. Now the one thing you can't see is back over here coming from the west, there's a snowstorm coming. There is a snowstorm a-coming, so I've got to try to get this done before that hits. I'm looking out my real life window and I can see these clouds are getting blue, so we got to get this going here quickly. And it's been very, very cold here, and you will notice when I turn on my master switch, oh, look at that right there. The oil temperature is at 126 right there. That would be, well, 14 degrees, and it would probably not start. I'm almost guarantee you the engine would not start. On top of that, it would take us forever to get that up to being warm enough to take off here. So now we start it, we go. The other things we want to do here is look at our fuel, which is at 25. I've already gone ahead and done my weights and measures here. I'm at 25 in both tank. I've got myself in here at 200 pounds, which is again realistic. And one thing I'd like to point out is the control lock on this aircraft is a bungee cord. I'd already knocked that off there when I first got in, but there's your control lock. Very high-tech piece of equipment, but it's very effective. And I am going to go ahead and remove my yokes just because I like to be able to see everything on my dash here. We'll go ahead and jump to our outside stuff, but before we do, we want to do one click on those flaps. Now this is nice manual flaps. I actually kind of like that because there's not really any electronics involved in this. Alright, let's go ahead and check those flaps. They look tight. Everything's looking good there. I am definitely not used to this aircraft, so it really takes me a little bit longer. Our tip tanks are empty as they should be. I'm not using those today. I don't have any fuel in them. Everything looks good there. We probably should have had those landing lights on. Let's go ahead and pull off our rope. And there is our wheel chock. Fuel on this side, yep, that's looks like it's almost full, 25 gallons. And we've got our nose here. Everything's looking pretty nice. Propeller looks good. Checking for any shop rags in there. Our oil is right up there. We went ahead and got a nice fresh oil change before we took ownership, and looks like the fuel in that tank is doing good. Pull off that wheel chock and the rope on that side. We got to check our stall warning, looks good, and remove the pitot cover. Now here's where we're gonna pretend we sneak into the cockpit and turn that on, and we'll hold our finger on there. And there it goes. It's nice and warm and working, so that's good. We can sneak back in the cockpit, turn that off, and continue on here down the line. Everything's looking good on that wing. We've checked that tip tank. Of course, it's empty, and it should be. We've got everything looking great on this side as well. Static opening, and finally our tail. Definitely a different order than the 172. Everything's looking good back here, and very nice. And our compartment is locked. We're not going to be hauling anything today. All right. And I'd also like to point out, if we look outside here, the scenery is looking a lot different. We went ahead and purchased into all of the Orbix scenery. It's a little bit pricey, but it has changed our airport here in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, the Chippewa Valley, to look a lot more realistic. There's some planes around. There's a few people standing around at the fuel pump. They've totally redone this. There's the FBO. I think that's supposed to be Hawthorne Aviation, which is a real company. And the distance over here, you can see the fire station. There are fire trucks that actually sit out there. An interesting fact, that's where we go to vote. So I was just there a month ago here on Election Day. And you've got all these hangars across here. So they've done an outstanding job. The only thing that is missing is we have a nice, big, beautiful aircraft control tower at the other end of the field here that was put up just a few years ago. And now they're actually doing some more expansion on our airport. So we don't have our nice control tower. But today, and speaking of the control tower, we are not going to be using the aircraft control because I've got enough to worry about right now. And since these are not actual humans in there, it's hard to explain to them that we're going up for a test to do air work and we're going to be coming back down. So we're going to skip using any aircraft control. I'm going to follow the directions of air hauler. So we're going to go ahead and make sure we put our flaps back up. We're not going to need those today. One other thing that I really like is when you put the tow bar on with this aircraft. Of course, we've got to turn our brake off there. We can actually push ourselves backwards here. It's a really nice feature. You turn your yoke. See if we can show you guys this. I guess it doesn't show up in the yoke, but I can actually turn my yoke and push myself backwards any direction I want to go. So we're going to push away from the fuel pump there. And that ought to work right there. Turn that back off again. You can also put it up on jacks and do all kinds of other neat things that we'll cover here at a later time. all of our circuits down here, breakers are all good anyway. Electrical switches are off. We'll go ahead and flip our master on here. Our autopilot is off. Avionics, everything is off. Rotating beacon is going to be flipped to the on position here. Some of these work on my panel and some don't. I'm going to go ahead and turn that thing on right now. And we've got our fuel selectors are off. They've got to be to the desired tank, which you can see down here is all the way forward is left and right, and then you can switch it out to the tip tanks. Your tip tank gauge is that one right down there, and that's to go from left to right there. I guess you don't do them both at the same time. There's our landing gear switch down there too, by the way. We'll turn on the cockpit heat to 50. He'll be nice and warm. One thing I forgot to do was pull off and unplug my aircraft, so we probably ripped the extension cord out there. I think we'll be okay today. The next one here, so we want to go ahead and crack our throttle, and we're going to also go mixture all the way rich. Prop is going to be all the way in. Throttle is cracked here a little bit. Let's see, gear, check gear lights. Yeah, we got green. Everything is good. I don't know why we don't have green in here. This light I thought should be green, but anyway, we're on our wheels right now, so we're gonna move on. Fuel pump pressure. Let's go ahead. Flip on our fuel pump. Where is our fuel? Right here. Fuel pressure 1 psi. There's not too much there, but yeah, there was some. And we're going to turn that back off again. Engine, we're going to prime it. I believe it's 3 to 5 times. Okay, I just happened to lose sound of my aircraft here, so I had to go ahead and reload it. And I'm wondering if that's why, yeah, it looks like my light is on now. We got nice clear windows again. Those are probably going to fog right up. But no matter what I clicked, I wasn't getting any sound off anything from the aircraft. So we've got our throttle and everything where it needs to be. We'll go ahead and keep priming right here. That's where we left off. We've got, that was 3. We'll do 4 today. Mags are both on there. And we've got to yell out here, clear prop, which we'll go ahead and do. And then we should be ready to fire it up. We're going to go ahead. Obviously, my parking brake's got to be set here. All right, turn off our starter. And we're going to lean out a little bit here. Oil pressure, we need to check that. It's right up into the green, so we're good to go. We're already warm. That is really nice having it plugged in. I've been so used to starting cold aircraft. I've purposely not been plugging them in, but now it's just too cold outside. You have to plug them in. And looks like everything else is good. All right, we'll go ahead and flip our avionics on. Wait for the Garmin to come up. This is a 750 from Flight 1. Fits right into the Comanche very nicely. So we've got a very up-to-date GPS in it. And we'll just go ahead and monitor the map today since we're not actually flying to any other airport. That'll work.
TOS, system test okay.
Alright, glad that everything's okay. Alright, we're going to go ahead and check out the weather out here. I've got my altimeter set. I looked at that in active sky already, which should be 3035 is what I've got set up for. And it looks like the wind, the sky conditions, okay, they're still clear. Hopefully that stays like that. Wind is calm. We don't have to really worry about that. Alright, we're going to go ahead and have to manually flip on our lights here, our landing lights, taxi lights, whatever you want to call them here. And we'll get our strobes here in just a second. Get our brakes off. Hopefully everything else is working good. We'll get our track IR. Track IR works really nice in this aircraft, by the way. Works good in pretty much all the aircraft, but this one particularly, I really, really like it. Get ourselves kind of set there. And we're going to get the rest of that junk off the screen here in a minute. So I'll probably go ahead and go out runway 22 here. I'm not sure where they're going to throw us for this test here. I haven't seen anything come across for air haulers, so I'm a little bit nervous if they're actually tracking me or not. I guess we probably should get our headset in, then it'll be a little bit quieter. Now while we're rolling down here, I'll share with you a couple of funny stories that I've had. One of the times we were flying a couple weeks ago, I was coming into Minneapolis. These were all during the Twitch live stream, and 2 different times the aircraft control over there sent jets in right behind me. Well, I'm a Cessna, so I was flying pretty slow. And I had both times where the jets barely passed over me. We almost collided, and then I got hit with all the jet wash which nearly crashed me into the ground. It was terrifying. I had huge expensive loads on board for air hauler. First time I managed to get it back flying again, I went around. It happened again the second time, and I got mad and put her right in. So I'll go ahead and show you that clip real quick.
500.
Oh! It freaking flew right through me! Oh! What is really going on here? And the wind! Oh my god!
Traffic.
Oh my god, what's going on? I'm like lagging out here. It's doing it again. I don't know. That's frustrating.
Traffic.
I don't know why it's doing that. I don't know why it's doing this. It's almost like it's a game glitch. I've never experienced that.
50, 40, 30,
Oh my god.
20, 10,
ILS, runway 4, approach Pacifica 7134, Minneapolis Tower. Make straight in, runway 4, altimeter 2963. Cessna 5 X-ray Delta, exit runway when able.
And people say flight sim is boring. I laugh. Well, I hope you all enjoyed that. It was quite a terrifying experience. The next one is the first grass landing that has been success for me in air hauler. I had those two early on. I showed them, I think, in pilot log number 2 where I crashed. Right away, my first 2 loads I crashed running narcotics. Well, this was one where I was running narcotics out, actually to an airstrip out at the EAA building out at Oshkosh. Anybody that's ever been to the Oshkosh Air Show knows what I'm talking about. It's basically their backyard. I had to land in there, and I almost hit some power lines. And I'll go ahead and show you that clip there. 60, gotta keep her 60. Can't go less than that.
Wire ahead, pull up.
Whoa!
Wire ahead,
Wire!
pull up.
What? Oh, those freaking wires! Stalling! Don't stall! Don't stall! Don't stall! Don't stall! Whoa! Whoa! Nose down, over the wire. Holy crap!
100,
I am freaking shaking.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10,
Cut the throttle. Stay on the grass, you bastard. Oh, we did it! Oh, I need to go poop. Oh, right at the end. Oh my god. And people say that flight sim is boring. Literally want to smack them in the face when they say that. Oh my god, I am shaking right now. It's just a game, it's just a simulator, but I am freaking shaking. You see the grass? Huh? You guys see that? You guys see that? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, that was intense. Well, I really hope you all enjoyed that one. I was on the edge of my seat. It was quite exhilarating to come in and land and barely have enough of that grass left to stop on. So that was a lot of fun though that night. And then later on, I went ahead and had kind of another landing where I was coming in a little bit fast, and I really had to apply a slip to be able to slow my aircraft down, and I did it successfully. And that was probably one of the first ones that I've done in air hauler that actually helped me get my aircraft slowed down. I know it wasn't probably textbook, but remember folks, I don't have a real life pilot's license, and I'm definitely working on trying to get myself to be doing everything as proper and realistic as I can. So I'll go ahead and I'll show that clip as well. We ain't gonna get slowed down. I'm gonna have to go around. Got a tree right in the middle of the runway! Oh my god, look at that tree! It's like right at the end of the runway.
100.
I might have to put her down in the grass.
30. 20. 10.
He's rough. Got a smooth landing. I'm not proud of it. That frickin' tree was right up in the middle of the runway. Oh, oh my god. I need to go to the bathroom. Holy fricka-ball sack. Woo! And they say flying is boring. And I hope you enjoyed that clip too. That was a lot of fun. We got all those runs done. That was over in Michigan somewhere at a small strip. We were running all those narcotics that night. So we've had a blast, like I said, in Air Holler. But I'm going to go ahead and do a run up here. It looks like we've still got some pretty decent weather. What we'll do is we're going to, I think we got to put our mixture all the way up. And 2,000 RPM, you can see it over there on that gauge. Left, right, left, and okay, we're good there. We're gonna be mixture all the way up. Prop is all the way up. Oh, and you know what else I forgot to do? I'm not used to having my prop here. We want to pull that prop lever 3 times. Make sure that thing is functioning properly. And we'll go ahead and flip on our strobe light. I'm going all crazy off the runway here. I've got the track IR turned off for a second. I'm kind of hoping we get some direction here from Air Holler. I'm getting a little bit nervous here. I thought, well, usually it always is talking to you when you are doing, you know, cargo and stuff like that, but it's been so long since I took my other test. Hopefully we don't get up in the air and find out that it's not functioning anymore. It could happen. If it does, I'll have to land and restart the whole thing. Alright, we're ready to go. We're going to check everything over, make sure that we're trimmed neutral, which we are. Whew. Oh, here we go, folks. Here we go. I am nervous on this one. Get 85. We're good. Let's get her off the ground. Alright, there we go. I'm gonna go ahead and get my gear up. And it was making me wonder there. I can't tell if my gear's going up or down. Okay, it said to climb to 6,017 feet indicated. We'll go ahead and check on the outside. Okay, it's good. I got really distracted right there. We've got an aircraft right there ahead of us too. We're kind of having to ignore all that stuff today. I was real quiet there on takeoff, just waiting for it to see if it was going to come. I thought for sure I was going to have to put her back down again. Flaps and everything are up here. We're going up there a little bit higher today. I've been flying so low here lately. I don't know if I've ever had this thing up to 6,000 feet. I think I did one time. I'm not going to be using any autopilot or anything today. This does have it. It's very primitive, but it works very well. I do know how to use it, but I'm very rusty with it too. So it's been a while since I have used it. Obviously, I don't have very much practice with it. There we go, get that all fixed up. And I know normally you want to run about 24, 24. I'm going to go ahead and get my RPMs and everything else down under that 25. We don't want to be redlining here. We're leaning out just a little bit with our mixture. It's very beautiful out today. I can't wait to come in here and do a little bit more looking out the window, but today we really got to focus on what's going on in front of us. So the reason that we're really switching, and I kind of mentioned this earlier, is obviously we want to use lots of different aircraft, but this thing here is not quite as technical as the Cessna, but it's a very good aircraft for doing air hauler because it was cheap in price, it has a long range, it can haul a decent amount of weight, and it's faster. Okay, turn in a heading 041 and level out at 617. Oh. Okay. Whoopsie daisies. Oh, went right past it. I'm sitting here getting everything adjusted. Follow that bug. So much higher up. This is worse than taking the first one, I think. I love it though. I love that challenge. It's almost terrifying. Because I don't want to fail on camera. Okay, we gotta go down here. We're gonna end up failing. Last time we got stuck in that weather. It was horrible. Alright, we just got it. Had to turn a little bit there. My gauge was off. Turn a heading 266 and level out at 65. So we need... Whoa, I'm losing speed big time here. 266. Okay, we're going to go ahead and turn. Got a little bit of climbing to do. Oh, well. We'll still pass, I'm sure. We're just not getting her done as quickly as we should. There we go. And yeah, 6517. These weird... Why don't they just say 6500? 6,000. We hit that 500. We should be home. Boom. Turn to a heading of 10 and level out. Alright, so now that you want me to turn back again, we'll go ahead and do that. Oh, and I thought it was 55. Okay. Definitely want to go down a little bit here. $65, come on, and we should hit it. Not too much here. Easy does her. A little bit more. I lost some of my altitude. I do okay flying, but boy, when they want you to nail all these things. Land and, yeah, depart airport. Okay, landing or better required. Okay. Oh, good deal, good deal. Honestly, the landing part, I'm not that worried about. But they've got me all kind of lost here. I've been doing so much turning around. Let's see here. Where are we? I kind of recognize. I think the airport should be over here. We got a plane right up here. I'm gonna look out for them. I do have, it's the one thing that I do have where it's not realistic and hardcore, I guess you could say, is I am basically, I've got the collision with other aircraft turned off. And the reason is so I don't get trolled when I'm in multiplayer on FS Cloud. FS Cloud, there's a latency. People can accidentally end up going right through your aircraft, so it's highly advised. There's a little alarm there because I pulled the throttle back and my landing gear is up, which I want it to be up. But it's highly advised to have it off on there, so I don't have to worry about colliding with other aircraft. However, it still kills my immersion when I do it, and I've never done it. I've not ever done it. I've had AI aircraft collide with me, like that jet, or nearly. I'm trying not to look here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I see a right over here. Alright, let's go ahead and find out kind of where we're at here. Yeah, exactly. So right up there. Can't miss our city of Eau Claire there, and I can see Interstate 94 down here. And this looks very realistic for this time of year. We've got several inches of snow, and it is just bloody cold. This aircraft is just an amazing aircraft. It's $50 off of A2A. I've tweeted a lot about their aircraft before, and it's an amazing aircraft. It flies so well. One of the main guys over there at A2A, Scott, he actually owns this aircraft. He has the one with the green stripe on it, and you can tell that they maybe put a little bit of extra love into this Comanche. And it's just everything that they do over there at A2A is second to none, folks. It's so worth the money. And just another interesting fact that came to my mind. I'm kind of a nerd for, reading all the NTSB reports about plane crashes and things like that, and I like to do my history on aircraft, but anybody remembers the country star Patsy Cline? She was killed in one of these when her pilot, who was not IFR trained, flew in IFR conditions. That was back in 1963, so they didn't have a fancy GPS and things. And I think it was in Dyersburg, Tennessee. I remember riding motorcycle around that area. And yeah, I was in a storm, and it was at night. I think at like 6 o'clock. Would have been dark. All right, now I have to admit I don't see our airport here. I know it's right over here. I've flown in here so many times. But I should be seeing. Oh, there we are. That's why the track IR, can't even talk here, is nice. I do use that a lot to kind of peek out the windows and things. We're kind of coming up there high. Now, I will admit, I forget exactly some of my stuff here, and I shouldn't. I could pull up that list, but, oh yeah, I'm supposed to have fuel pump on when I take off and I come in. That was bad on my part. We'll go ahead and get that fired up. So what we want to do here is get ourselves slowed way down below the 150 so we can get our landing gear. I'm really going to be coming in hot here. I'll quit beeping. That thing's beeping because I'm pulling back so far in my throttle and my landing gear is not down. I need to lose some airspeed. You got to be under 150, I know that. I know 120 for the first layer of, first layer, the first amount of flaps. Woo! Slow down. And this is where I forget, I can't remember if I think it's 110 on this aircraft. I know it's 85 with the Cessna. But hopefully we don't rip our flaps off today, going in 20. We'll be using all of our flaps today. I'm just hoping an AI aircraft doesn't go to try to take off right now. Lose some of our airspeed here. Poof, turn into a rock. Okay, mixture and everything is forward. We're belted in, our straps and flaps, right? I gotta get way slowed down here. We'll
500.
all the way down on our flaps.
500.
Apparently they disagree on how far off the ground we are. About 85 is where I think I want to come in, 85, 90. I gotta do a lot more studying up on my numbers with this one. Landing gear is down. I'm checking. That is green. We're good. We're a little bit low. We don't want to stall.
100.
I've had some beautiful landings in this thing. Hopefully I can get another one today.
50. 40. 30, 20, 10,
Cut the throttle. Front down. That was smooth. That was a little bit of a bump. I'll take a smooth landing. Oh, and then the sigh of relief. I think I might have passed. I think I might have passed. Had that first turn that I didn't so much goof, but somehow my compass was off there. I had to correct that, and it was just taking me a little bit longer to get where I needed to be there. Alright. I need to taxi off here. Oh man, I'll tell you what. Flight sim and flying is such a rush. I highly encourage you all to you know, to check it out. And don't think that you don't know what to do. Our community is always open for you to come in and learn. We're going to be hosting a lot of flight sessions for, you know, introductory flight sessions for new and veteran desk pilots. We've got real people with real life piloting experience, people that are working on their pilot's license, people that are already flying commercial in our community, and we would all love to help you out. I'm no pro. Heck, a few months ago I didn't know a thing. And those of you that are pros that watch this video are probably thinking, yeah, he's definitely not a pro. Hopefully you guys are thinking, he's doing a pretty good job for only having a little bit of hours in. I'm definitely striving for realism and excellence. We're gonna go ahead and flip off our strobe. I forgot to do that. We'd have to be talking aircraft control, you know, getting taxi clearance, and like I said, I skipped out on that today, having our aircraft control involved, because I've been having a few issues with them, you know, giving me a hard time here. So it's kind of like, you know what, we're not gonna fart with that here today. I've had a few times where I've clicked on things recently, and I don't know why this is, but I've clicked on some different things and it's actually crashed. Although it's rare, I just did not want that to happen today. We're running so much other stuff on here now with all of our scenery and things that the more stuff you run, you know, you can definitely introduce a few bugs. But let's go ahead and pull up over here. How about that? I think there's a parking spot here for us. Oh, yes. There's right here. Have to do a kind of a sharp turn here. And it really doesn't matter a whole lot. That'll be good enough for today.
Traffic.
Okay, we've got traffic. Yeah, we don't want to run into that airplane. I think we've got plenty of room. Well, let's go ahead, give her a little juice. And we'll pull out that mixture. Everything down. Fuel pump is off. Forgot to turn that off right away when we landed. Beacon light. Yay! We passed it! We are now licensed to fly the Comanche. That is very exciting. So we've got a congratulations, you passed the flight test. Well, there it is, folks. It is a done deal. We passed. That is a lovely sound. No issues on anything there. We were a little rusty, but hey, they were happy with it. That's all that matters. It's really not that hard, but I still get nervous about it. We'll go ahead and finish the flight monitoring. And it only took 16 minutes. That wasn't too bad. I think our other one was like 50, but we had a few problems with the weather that day. We'll go ahead and hit OK there. And now that our range is a little bit more, we've got big decisions to make. And I want you all to comment down below. I'll definitely take into considerations. I'm kind of thinking Florida would be a good place, but you know, Florida is kind of flat and it's not super interesting, and this is just for the winter, but we'd be able to do all kinds of Bahamas stuff, and there are some awesome airstrips out there. It would be great to fly in and run some air hauler loads out there, and I'm thinking maybe setting up shop in Gainesville. It's a nice little airport there, and I've also considered going farther down to Lakeland and a few other places. Lakeland is somewhere down here. And it's up here, right here, Lakeland. And I've even thought about going all the way down towards Miami. And then there's the other option that we go out to maybe Arizona, where it's still kind of warm. We do have to deal with the altitude being higher in mountains, but it would be graphically, as far as scenery goes, it would be really, really beautiful. And of course, I've got the Orbix running, and we've got the Orbix Central Rocky pack, which is going to be up here. So that's kind of tempting too, is to go to the southeast. And I know that I'm eventually going to have a base out in Colorado, so kind of thinking right now, maybe it'd be better to go to Florida for the winter for a few months. We can always sell that base, and then we're going to be off to Alaska with the base and out to Colorado. That is going to be insane by that time. We're going to be flying some big aircraft. We've got warbirds. We've got just massive amounts of aircraft to go through. We've got some big old boys like this Strato cruiser right here that is old school and going to be a blast to fly, also from A2A. We've got the B-17 we're going to be using for cargo. We've got more kind of normal or more common aircraft like the Grand Caravans. We've got tons of those. We're going to be getting into flying. Like you guys can see all the aircraft I have in Air Hauler. We have some insane times coming, the weeks, the months, and the years ahead in this air hauler. And I want to thank you all for being a part of it. Don't forget to join us over on Twitch, where we're always doing lots of flying. Make sure you follow us on Twitter so you know exactly when we go live. Leave us a comment down below. Hit that like button on your way out. And until next time, take care.